Episode 24, Jammo, The Lion's Den. Take a minute and share with your family a rule you've heard or that you do that you don't like making your bed or brushing your teeth, or maybe doing your homework. Today, our story is the story of Daniel in the lion's den. So long after David had died and the Israelites had moved on, they had become prisoners and slaves for the Babylonians in the city of Babylon. But God was still with them. One of them was named Daniel. Now Daniel loved the Lord, and he listened to God, and he was good. And because Daniel listened to the Lord and God told him things and he was wise, the king took notice, named Darius. And he said, "You're smart. So you know what? I want you to come help me." And Daniel said, "Okay, I'll come help you." And so he made Daniel the leader over all kinds of helpers because he was the best helper. But you see, the helpers that worked for him, they didn't really like him much because they wanted the king to like him. And so they'd watch as Daniel got along with the king, and they were upset until they got an idea because they wanted to become close to the king. And so they're like, "We're going to watch Daniel and see if he makes mistakes. We're going to find a way to hurt him." But you see, Daniel was good and he was kind to people. He was a great leader. He was fair and he was just and he was kind, and they couldn't find issues. The only thing they noticed he did was he prayed every day alone. And they're like, "Oh, we have an idea. Because he prays, we're going to have the king create a law." And so they went and they spoke to the king and they said, "Oh, you know what, king, you're so great. You should have people only pray to you." And the king was like, "That's a good idea. I'm going to have that be true." But you see, Daniel knew this and he said, "I can't pray to the king. I can only pray to God." So Daniel continued to pray. And the next day when he prayed, they said, "You're in trouble. You're going in the lion's pit because you disobeyed." And Daniel knew this would happen, boys and girls, because of what they had said, and he still did it anyways. But he prayed and he trusted God, and because he trusted God, God was there. And instead of the lions eating Daniel, their mouths were closed. And the king was worried all night. He was up all night pacing, and he came the next morning and said, "Daniel, are you okay?" And Daniel said, "Yes, I am okay. God saved me." And so the king got him out of the pit, and he said, "Wow, your God must be big. Your God must be strong, and so we should follow your God." And they did. And what's the point of this? Is the point just that Daniel prayed? It's that he listened to God. He knew he might be hurt or he would lose friends or even die, but he still chose to love God and only worship him, because sometimes being a Christian, following God, is hard. But you know what? When we choose God, he's there. It's kind of like choosing a teammate. God is like the best teammate we could have. But the big part is we can choose him. We can choose whether or not we want to follow him and be with him. What will you choose? The end. Take a minute and plan some time to pray to God every single day. Maybe plan a time in the morning when you wake up, or when you're going to bed, or even as you're eating your lunch. But set aside that time to talk to God. Say a prayer thanking God for protecting us and taking care of us, and pray and ask God to help us trust him in everything that we do, like Daniel trusted God to protect him.